That's right, Federico Chiesa has become a Liverpool player, joining them in a deal worth £12.5 million.
The Liverpool have agreed a fee of £12.5 million for Federico Chiesa from Juventus.
Now agreed a deal with Juventus to sign Federico Chiesa.
Liverpool and Juventus have just sealed the deal for Federico Chiesa, but not everyone's on board. While some fans are clamoring for reinforcements in defense or a robust defensive midfielder, the signing of another winger seems puzzling at first glance, especially with Liverpool's attacking lineup already brimming with talent. But what if Chiesa is more than just another name on the roster? What if this move is the key to unlocking Liverpool's full potential? Let's analyze why this might just be the transfer that tips the balance in Liverpool's favor and discuss what they're not telling you about this intriguing move. Whilst Liverpool secured his signature, Barcelona had also been interested in Chiesa, but were struggling to free up the margin in their wage bill to be able to register him. Now, you might be thinking, why did we sign a player that Juventus doesn't even want? But it's not as simple as it sounds. Juventus' new manager, Diogo Jota, didn't think Chiesa would fit his style, and just because Juventus are moving on doesn't mean Chiesa's not a gem. But many fans are questioning the logic behind this transfer, especially given Liverpool's need for a solid backup in the number 6 position and a new center back. Instead, the Reds have opted for a winger, which might seem like an odd choice considering the attacking talent already in the squad. Chiesa, 26, is mainly a right-footed winger. Last season played mostly on the left wing, but was considered versatile. He slotted in on the right wing as a second striker and even as a center forward. Remember that insane goal he scored in the 2020 Euro semi-final against Spain? He sprinted across the pitch, burned defenders, and curled in a stunner. That was peak Chiesa, one of the most explosive wingers around. But since then, Chiesa suffered a brutal ACL injury in 2022, which kept him off the pitch for nearly 270 days. The injury did slow him down a bit, so his explosive pace isn't quite what it used to be. However, his decline in this attribute may not matter at all. Risk? More like an obligation. In a season full of uncertainty around Liverpool's attacking options, signing Federico Chiesa feels like a no-brainer. Liverpool snagged a European Championship winner who's starting to hit his stride again, and they did it for a bargain price, about what they once paid for Fabio Borini from Swansea. Given the circumstances, it's hard to argue that Chiesa is anything but a necessary addition. A top-tier talent, once valued at £100 million, now available for a fraction of that while still in his prime, is a rare find. No denying it, Federico Chiesa was once a rising star, but since the injury, people have started to doubt just how good he can still be. But here's the thing, despite the injury and some fitness issues, Chiesa's availability hasn't been too shabby. He started 25 out of 33 league games last season, averaging 67 minutes per game. That's more minutes than players like Ocean Emo, Lookman, and Samaka. So while it's a gamble, it's a low-risk, high-reward one, especially since we're reportedly getting him for around £10 million, which is a steal in today's market. Sure, there's a risk that Chiesa's fitness issues might persist, but with him not expected to be a primary starter and Liverpool's revamped medical team, the risk is lower. Plus, the potential upside is huge. We're getting a top-tier winger entering his prime while keeping a chunk of our own budget for future big-name signings. His role at Liverpool will likely be more rotational, which could mitigate the risk. The fee is low enough to make the potential reward significant, especially if he regains his peak form. Last season, Chiesa was solid, but not a standout. He scored 9 goals and provided 2 assists in Serie A. While he started strongly, his impact waned towards the end of the season. His injury history contributed, with his season performances a bit inconsistent, though he still had moments of quality that helped Juventus secure Champions League football. At first glance, it's unclear where Federico Chiesa fits in a squad already packed with talent like Mohamed Salah, Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota, Luis Díaz, and Cody Gakpo. Liverpool's attacking depth is strong, and bolstering the front line doesn't seem as urgent as addressing the need for a holding midfielder, with Wataru Endo being the only natural player in that role. However, considering Chiesa's price tag, Salah's noticeable dip in form last season, and the expanded Champions League format, Liverpool's move for the Italian winger makes sense. Chiesa is likely to play primarily on the right wing, providing a much-needed alternative to Salah, who is currently the only natural option in that position. On the left wing, Gakpo competes with Luis Díaz, and Núñez and Jota are options for center forward. If Salah suffers an injury or dip in form, Chiesa's addition fills the void on the right wing effectively. Although Salah's age hasn't yet notably impacted his performance, at 31 he may need more rest. With more fixtures in the expanded Champions League, having Chiesa provides manager Arne Slot with the flexibility to rotate key players and manage Salah's workload. Chiesa also offers a unique skill set that could be valuable off the bench. Slot's early matches suggest a more possession-oriented approach compared to Klopp's direct style. Chiesa's pace and unpredictability could be the key to breaking down organized defenses. Even with concerns about Chiesa's injury history, the winger might rediscover the form that made him a standout in Italy's Euro 2020 triumph. With an initial fee of just £13 million before add-ons, Liverpool's deal for Chiesa appears to be a low-risk investment for a player of his quality. This move might also be a strategic play for the future. With Salah's contract ending soon and potential changes in the attack, Chiesa's signing makes sense as a backup plan. Liverpool's decision to bring in Chiesa could be about preparing for future shifts in the squad. While he's primarily a left winger, Chiesa's versatility, playing various attacking roles like left wing, right wing, and second striker, shows he can adapt. His recent performances indicate he's recovering well from an ACL injury, offering depth and unpredictability. However, there are still concerns about his finishing consistency and defensive capabilities. Chiesa's pace and dribbling were his standout traits before the injury. He had this explosive ability to take on defenders and drive the ball into dangerous areas. After the ACL injury, people thought he lost some of that burst, but watch him play and you'll see he still got it. He ranks highly among Serie A forwards for accelerations and dribbles per 90 minutes. His versatility is a big plus. He's comfortable dropping deep to receive the ball and drive it forward. Last season, he ranked high in progressive carrying distance and carries into the final third. He's also great at receiving the ball between lines and making things happen. When it comes to passing, he has a knack for finding teammates in dangerous positions. His ability to make the right pass and set up scoring opportunities is impressive. Last season, he ranked in the 97th percentile for key passes, averaging 2.29 per 90 minutes. Chiesa's shooting is another strong point. He mainly takes shots from the left half space and is capable of scoring from distance or with power. His discipline out of possession is also worth noting, with his relentless pressing and tracking back, which will contribute to Liverpool's defensive efforts. He might not be a regular starter, but he can offer significant depth. His pace and ability to exploit space on the counterattack could be useful, especially when Liverpool bypasses the press with long passes. In build-up play, his knack for receiving the ball between lines and making forward runs can add a new dimension. His passing and crossing abilities will be valuable, particularly when targeting players like Van Dijk and Konate during set pieces. There's been a lot of criticism regarding Liverpool's handling of the summer transfer window. Despite claims that manager Arne Slot was given a £200 million budget, the reality hasn't matched expectations. Jurgen Klopp, who defended ownership and took much of the blame, may have been onto something. Slot might find himself echoing Klopp's sentiments about the team being good enough, despite a clear lack of investment. The departures of Thiago Alcantara and Joel Matip, who left Liverpool with Thiago retiring to coaching and Matip becoming a free agent, have left gaps. Calvin Ramsey was loaned out to Wigan Athletic, and backup goalkeeper Adrian moved to Real Betis. Fabio Carvalho and Sepp van der Berg have joined Brentford, further reshaping the squad. Liverpool finally made a splash in the transfer market with the signing of Georgi Marmadashvili for £29 million, although he will stay at Valencia for the rest of the season. And now Federico Chiesa joins the mix. Klopp didn't push for big signings or contract renewals because he knew he'd be leaving soon, not wanting to tie the club into long-term deals only to announce his departure months later. While Klopp's loyalty to his players is admirable, it's clear the management should have anticipated the situation. Virgil van Dijk had already made it clear he wanted improvements before committing to a new contract. With 3 of Liverpool's 5 captains running out their contracts and the potential arrival of Georgi Marmadashvili hinting at Alisson Becker's possible exit, only Andrew Robertson and Van Dijk remain from the leadership core. The situation raises serious concerns about who will step up to replace some of the world's best players in key positions. While Chiesa isn't a cure-all for Liverpool's transfer window shortcomings, his addition for £10 million plus add-ons brings substantial value. Although Liverpool still needs a defensive midfielder and a left-footed centre-back, Chiesa enhances the squad depth and aligns well with Slot's tactical approach. So what do you think? Are you excited about Chiesa joining Liverpool? Do you think he's a signing ready to impact the squad? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button and make sure you watch the next video on screen for more Liverpool deep dives.